Oh boy, if you love Guillermo Del Toro, do I have the film for you? Right? Like, I had to go check IMDb to see if he had been a part of this movie. That is how much it reminded me of Pan's Labyrinth. And I mean that as a good thing, by the way. I fucking love Guillermo Del Toro, and I fucking love this film, right? This is like Pan's Labyrinth's older, meaner brother. It's fucking got a shaved head, it smokes, it probably wears Doc Martens, listens to hardcore, fucking crowd kills people, you know? This movie is fucking brutal. It's got gore, it's got fairies, it's got war crimes. If other Filipino horrors are as hardcore as this, sign me the fuck up, because I had a wonderfully disturbing time with this movie by Kenneth Dagatan. God, I was surprised by how much I like this movie. Set at the end of World War II during the Japanese invasion of the Philippines, In My Mother's Skin follows a wealthy family who have been constantly harassed by the leader of a group of Japanese soldiers. The soldiers think that the father he's like sitting on basically a pile of stolen Japanese gold, and they're determined to get the info out of him. So at some point, the father, Aldo, decides, fuck it, I've got to go to the Americans for help. Unfortunately, he disappears. Like, when he goes to do that, he disappears. This causes his wife, Ligaya, played wonderfully by Beauty Gonzalez, to sink into like this deeply manic state, basically neglecting the kids, and she's unresponsive almost. So the family's daughter, Tala, decides to take things upon herself and seek help from the supernatural realm, and makes a deal with a fairy. And that's not good. Now, if you've never played D&D or Baldur's Gate before, I forgive you for your ignorance. But PSA, don't do deals with the Fae. It never works out. But Jake, what about the Tooth Fairy? What about the Tooth Fairy? That is Fae propaganda. That is Fairy Realm propaganda. That's like their fucking Dolomites. That's how they get you in the door, right? To start making deals. No making deals with fairies. Wait, you want me to give my bones to a supernatural creature who knows magic really well and breaks into my house at night, all for the price of a shiny gold coin? Get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. That's what you all should be saying. My kid's not... no Tooth Fairy for my kid, right? He's going to sleep with an iron dagger under his blanket. He's going to sleep in a moat of salt. You know? I'm going to teach him. I'm going to say, I'm not going to the woods to fucking get you back. Like, if you fuck this up, you're gone. No folklore shenanigans for us, thank you very much. That is all to say, do not deal with folklore creatures. Bad time. Now, the acting in this movie is great by Beauty Gonzalez as the mum. Tala too, as Felicity Napoli as Tala, really good. Even, although she doesn't talk that much, Jasmine Curtis Smith as the fairy, she's really good. She's wonderfully unsettling. Her whole costume is like, it almost looks like a mix between Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and like Eurovision-y. It's really, at the start you're like, okay, this is kind of goofy, and then you're like, oh no, I'm fucking creeped out by you. You creep me out, bro. The creature that ends up inhabiting this house sent my anxiety through the roof, right? It's fucking genuinely scary. There are some genuinely scary scenes in this movie. There are amazingly well-crafted jump scares. There is gore reminiscent of The Evil Dead. Yes, not as much gore as The Evil Dead franchise, but the parts that do go gory, go fucking gory. And like all good Asian horrors, Western rules are completely off the table, right? At no point in this movie did I ever feel safe, because I had no fucking idea where the line is. Everyone was in danger at one point or another, and you have no idea who the fuck's going to survive. And that ramps up the tension wonderfully. That's one of the things I love most about Asian horror films. This is a grim, nasty little film. And it flicks from scenes of like beautiful, dreamlike woodland vistas to decaying animal corpses in a rundown mansion like that. Also, lots of the violence in this movie you don't see, but you hear it. And somehow that's fucking worse, right? It's real creepy and it's real gross. There's lots of, if you got misophonia, this might not be one for you. There are some truly gross sounds in this movie. I think the main problem that people are going to have with this film is that it's fucking miserable. This is a miserable film. All the characters are really well fleshed out. So if they're having a bad time, you're having a bad time too. You know, this is a sad, depressing fucking film. You know, like World War II is, or was, I should say. It's also about witnessing unspeakable things from the perspective of a child. That is never a comfortable subject matter. It's usually unpleasant for most people, but it does it well. Also, the leader of the Japanese forces in this movie was like cartoonishly evil, so that did grate on me a little bit. And some of the CGI is a little janky because it's a small budget, but honestly, I didn't mind that because this shit goes hard as fuck. This shit goes so fucking hard. If you don't mind a depressing horror involving kids and you really love your fairy tales grim, see what I did there? In My Mother's Skin should firmly be on your watch list, right? Like it's a great fantasy horror. I recommend watching this if you love Asian horror at its most brutal. If you love folk horror or fantasy horror, this is made for you. If you love Guillermo Del Toro films, who doesn't? Who doesn't love those films? He could have made this. Honestly, he could have made this. I hope Kenneth Dagatan gets to do like an episode of Cabinet of Curiosities or something later on in his career, because I think those two need to meet for sure. I don't recommend watching this if you struggle with subtitles. It's a Filipino film. I get it. You know, not everyone can read really fast. I completely understand. It can take some people out of it. This is a subtitled film. I don't know what the dub's like. I didn't watch it. If you like your horror with a bit of levity, stay the fuck away from this one. This is fucking pitch black. It's miserable. But it's good. If you have seen this movie, let me know what you think. If you're Filipino or a Filipino horror fan, what should I check out next, man? Like it's a real blind spot of mine considering I love Asian horror. I think I'm missing a lot of films from my repertoire. If they're as good as this one, fucking hit me up. If you like this movie but you want it to be even more hardcore, check out When Evil Lurks. It has really great world building and fantastic gore effects like this one, but it has the horror and disturbing visuals turned up to 11. Right? It's about two Argentinian farmers who have to deal with a demonically possessed guy in their village. It's proper fucked. It's a proper fucked movie. But it's also my favourite film of last year, so I don't know what that says about me, but it's really good and it's super creepy. When Evil Lurks, highly, highly recommend. Another pick is 2023 Skinamarink. This is a weird pick because I didn't particularly love this movie, but I get why people did, because it's decent at transporting you back to the scary feelings you had when you were a kid, just like this movie does, right? So if you like weird experimental movies, maybe try it out. It's about two kids who wake up in the middle of the night and discover that their dad's gone and that they are locked in the house and weird shit's happening. You can't really spoil that movie because it's you'll know if you watch it. It's highly polarizing, but if it is for you, the people who like this movie fucking ride or die for it. Some people are like, oh, it's the scariest movie ever made. That could be you. That could be you, bro. That could be you. As always, thanks for watching. And remember, if you do want to follow along with the Spooktober Watch Fest, subscribe and hit the bell. I know every fucker says that, but it is the easiest way. Tomorrow, I'll be covering the 2022 slasher Sick. I'm very excited. I've had this recommended to me over and over and over again, and I love a good slasher, so I'm fucking pumped for that. Yeah, that's it. Peace.